Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Encouragement Today. My name is Vinny and I'm so excited you joined us today. We have an excellent show planned for you. But before we get to that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the things that you should do so we can reach more people. We'd like to encourage more people just like you. So make sure you do all that stuff for us. We appreciate it. In today's episode, I have a special guest in the hot seat today. It is my middle son. His name is Anthony, but he does not go by Anthony in what he's doing. So say hi, Ant.
Hello, I'm Anthony. Some of y'all might know me as Degree. Some of y'all might not know me at all, but I'm here and I'm his son.
That's it. He is my son, and so we're gonna talk to. I don't know if I'll call you Degree for this episode.
All right.
Just for the fun of it. But so in today's episode, we're really going to kind of dive in. Ant's been doing a lot of, Ant, see, I can't even do it for more than like a second.
Yeah.
It's so hard. So hard to keep that going. Degree is a Christian hip hop rapper and got a few songs out there on Spotify, on YouTube, on, what else do we got? We got links in our
Apple Music. If you listen to music anywhere, it's gonna be there.
Right, Degree with the little circle. With the degree, right?
It depends on the platform.
It does. So we put some links. So if you want to listen to some of his stuff, you can go check it out. He's got some music videos. He's got some great. It's really good. He's been doing this for. So let's kind of walk through his path. I really wanted to do this for you guys to kind of show he's 16. He's been doing this for a little bit and kind of where he's at today versus where he's been and where he thinks he's going to wind up. So let's kind of talk through being young and trying to make it in a very difficult industry.
Yeah. So where do you want me to start?
So start with like what got you into hip hop.
Are we gonna go all the way back?
Yeah, you can go wherever you want to go.
All right, so, okay, so I think. Actually, I don't know what I think. Are you sure there's no cuts?
There's no cuts. Just keep going.
All right, so I was about 9. So this is really, really far back. I'm not even sure my dad's gonna remember this, but I was with my friend Ryan, and he like sung this like little melody, like this little song, and I thought it was pretty funny, and I kind of liked it, so. I went home and I record. No, there's no beat. It was just a whole freestyle and me like basing off this like little melody. I think it was like I'm going to a park on a Tuesday. And that was like the first time I ever like quote unquote recorded a song. And then I posted it on SoundCloud. It got like no views or anything because there's no beat. It was trash.
Right.
So that was like my first song technically ever.
Right. But what got you into like music? That got you into it, like trying. Like you heard a song and you're like, I'm just gonna make this melody and make it happen.
I didn't think it would ever lead to like how I'm doing it now.
Right.
So then let's flash forward over to 2020. I was about 11, and I wanted to make a song called "I'm Back," and I did it. I actually had a beat this time. I was saying nothing I wasn't saying anything in any of the lyrics. It was just complete yap. It wasn't even about Jesus or anything. I was just yapping the whole time. And I was in the first time I made like a song with a beat and stuff. And then after that I just made some just bad songs.
So let's go back to "I'm Back" because you were back from the original song.
Yeah, well,
your original no beat song.
Yeah.
You're like, well, oh yeah, I'm coming back with this other song.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it had a beat this time.
It had a beat this time.
Right.
No mixing or anything. I just recorded over the beat in Audacity, and that was basically it.
But you were doing all this on your own. Like nobody was telling you what to do. Yeah. Nobody showed you anything.
Yeah, it was on me, from the beginning.
Right. So then so you make "I'm Back."
Yeah, and then I just make a few other songs, and then we moved to West Virginia. And then I was at this, like, I think it was like a youth event. and like they were like introducing me or something, and then I think Jeremiah, Jeremiah, he was like, "Oh yeah, he's a rapper." I was like, "Nah, nah, I'm not a rapper," and the real fans, when they hear that little phrase right there, they know what I'm talking about, and I made that "Not a Rapper" song because of that, and I feel like the "Not a Rapper" era, where I like it was still like barely any mixing, it was mostly just me like bad lyrics over a semi decent beat.
So how
That's
old were
what.
you when I'm Not a Rapper?
I was about 12
12.
in that
So
era.
so you went from 9, 11, 12, right? So you got a few different. There's a couple other things in the mix there, but I'm Not a Rapper comes out. You make like how many songs on this I'm Not a Rapper thing? There was like
There was
there's
like
a few.
I think it was 14 in total, but it was like 12 like full tracks.
12 full tracks on I'm Not a Rapper, and that was like a whole album that you're probably never gonna find anywhere at this point. But
It's on my YouTube channel actually. And
Okay.
It's on SoundCloud, but I took it off streaming services because I didn't pay for the beats or anything like that.
Right.
I just kind of uploaded it. I actually did like the rollout a lot. I think there was a decent amount of hype around it. But it wasn't any good hype. It was like, oh yeah, Anthony's making an album.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
so let's get to Degree,
Degree.
right? So where did Degree come from?
So my first name was actually Lil Ant because my name's Anthony, and an ant's little. And rappers, they have Lil in their name, and I just thought it was kind of like it's kind of funny, Lil Ants. But Degree, that name, I actually think is pretty a genius name. So my initials are AC, and on an AC unit, like you change the degrees, You get
I'm
what
with you.
saying?
I'm with you. Yes.
Like you're in the car, it's a little number, and that's how I got that from. I was sitting in the back of mom's car one day, and I just thought of that, and I wrote it down, and I was like, "This is my new name now, Degree," and I think it sounds really cool.
It is a good name.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and especially since you're with how you put all that together and came up
Yeah.
with that on your own. How old were you when you came up with Degree?
12.
12.
Yeah.
So 12. So this is, and this is what I wanted to kind of put forth in this episode is really try to encourage you. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, or how old you are, right? If you have a passion and a desire for something, that God has put inside of you, then you should pursue that passion and that desire. And I
Yeah.
think, like, would you say like this wasn't something like I put on you
Not at
to
all.
do music? I mean, I think I had a little bit to do with you liking the kind of music you like.
Yeah.
But so kind of share like some of your like growing up and what you were hearing. Please don't make it too.
I'm gonna be honest here. All right. So music wise, when I was growing up, honestly, I couldn't care less about music. I mean, it was every single Sunday on the radio, Z88.3.
There you go.
If you're from Florida, you know what I'm talking about. That little jingle. You know what jingle I'm talking
Yep.
about. Can you do it?
No,
Come on.
absolutely
Come on.
not.
All right.
No,
So yeah, just like,
safe for your little ears.
yeah, and I really don't like contemporary Christian music in the slightest. I think all the songs sound the same. And I think the lyrics are trash. That's just my opinion though. But I just really didn't think about it as a kid. But the first time I really heard hip hop, and I was like, oh, I really like this. I was in the car with my dad. Mom wasn't there. And my dad put Beastie Boys on. It's some old school stuff. Even people in their 20s probably don't even know Beastie Boys. Am I right on that?
I mean, I don't know. Like it's very old. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're talking
So
very old.
I heard the song Brass Monkey. And I thought the song was actually about a monkey. I'm not
Definitely
gonna lie.
not. Yep. Good that's what you thought. Keep thinking that.
Yeah, but I heard Beastie Boys and I was like, I really like this. And then Vinny started playing Christian hip hop. Lecrae, Andy Mineo, NF, and I just really liked it. And I wasn't like, oh yeah, I want to make this, at the time, but just little things happen, I'm back, Lil Ant era, all that stuff, and then it led to me just actually creating music like that. So
Right. So you start going as Degree, and then so 12 years old, Degree
Yeah.
is now working on beats and working on making music better. So because your older stuff, you can tell you're 12, right?
Yes.
And so it's
Very
like
much.
very young. Your voice is cute. We'll call it that. It's he hasn't hit the Degree era yet, where he's got a deep voice and whatnot. And you
Yeah.
didn't have a cadence or anything. It's totally different than
Mm-hmm.
what your sound is today. So
Yeah.
kind of talk about the progression from not a rapper to where you're at today, because we'll kind of hear some of the songs and things like that.
Well, I just really developed the sound of my music just based off of what I liked and what I listened to, and it's what I want to hear. Because it's my music, I'm gonna make something that I like, and even in my younger years, even like the quality obviously wasn't there, but I was still putting that work in,
Right.
and when you're putting the work in, the quality is gonna get better.
Yep.
And I'm at a point where I could say I have my quality is pretty good for what I'm working with. Most of the time it's literally just me sitting on my computer, just listening to beats. Oh, I like this beat. I write some lyrics and I record it, and I mix it the best that I can.
Right.
And then I have people that I work with, and I'm really lucky to have people around me that can help with like my branding, promotion, my content and stuff. Alex Morgan, my brother, Dalton Lewis, all those people. Uh, it's just small group of people, but I mean that's who I'd refer to as my team.
Right.
If I'm gonna do something, I always ask one of them. Um, and of course, there's you. I
Right.
can't forget about you. Anytime I make any song, no matter how bad it is, I always show it to my dad, no matter what. And I do think he's very biased about a lot of the things that he says.
I
But
am biased. I'm your dad.
yeah, but
I do critique though.
yeah,
So I made you change a few things on a couple of the new songs, and they worked very well. In fact, I was so you let's walk through. So you did the I'm Not a Rapper. Your next was The King, right?
the king. Yeah,
Right. Look at I know your discography
Uh-huh.
right there. Look at that. So you came out with The King, which was and you can see the progression
yes.
from I'm Not a Rapper to The King.
There's
Uh,
there's, there's definitely more interesting flows on the king because I
Right.
feel like Not a Rapper was just a lot of like talk rapping, but
Yep.
the king definitely had a little bit of flow to it.
Right, and you had an idea for that whole record.
Yes, there
Like-
was definitely a story there.
Right, and you told the story from beginning to end. Same thing with I'm Not a Rapper though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean that you had the whole thing was, yeah, with the I'm Not a Rapper was you're not a rapper, you're a Christian rapper, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how that whole thing landed.
yeah.
But then with The King, it was totally different, where you had a whole storyline in there as well. And talk a little bit about that, because not a lot of people will get that with some of your stuff. Like there's more to it than just the music.
Yeah, so like I think storytelling in an album is very important. I love concept albums, ones that have like a story from beginning to end. Kendrick Lamar definitely does that the best. And I just like when an album is trying to say something and it's not just a bunch of songs put together. My albums were, the songs weren't good, but I was still trying to tell something. So do you want me to tell them like what the stories were and stuff?
Yeah,
Or-
so kind of walk through. Start with the I'm Not a Rapper, and then go to King.
Yeah, so Not a Rapper, it was just at first when I made the Not a Rapper song, I'm just saying, oh yeah, I'm not a rapper. But as I started working on the album and the music, I was like, okay, maybe I do want to be a rapper. Then I was like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian rapper.
Right.
And like that was kind of like the end point of the album, where like I quote unquote figured it out, and that was like one of the names of the songs. And yeah, I just thought, I mean, I think the story building on the album was pretty good. So that that was my first album, and then The King. I think the King. I think the story. I'm trying to remember the story. Honestly, I kind of forgot. I'm pretty sure it's like me trying to find like what I'm putting first in life.
Right.
The King. Who's the King? You know
Yep.
what I mean? Um, and then yeah, that's basically it.
So where are we at now with so you have I'm Not a Rapper, The King, and then
And then
now we're doing like EPs, right? Is that what or
Um, and
was there?
and then I dropped Not a Rapper 1 year
Right.
anniversary where I like re-recorded every song on Not a Rapper and I did it differently. Same story. And then I did an album called AC,
That was it. Yep.
but you're not gonna be able to find any of those songs anywhere except maybe I have a single on SoundCloud and some TikToks about the album. But other than that, I've completely wiped the AC era completely off of everything. The music was not good. I was experimental though. I was trying something new. It was some stuff that you'll not hear anywhere.
Right. It was different.
It was very different. It was like synthwave, like 80s type of stuff, very experimental. It just wasn't good. It wasn't very polished at all. And it was a very similar story to like The King. Um and
Yeah. And
yeah,
so now where are we at?
like album wise,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make something. I'm trying to make something. An album is like an album right now in my point in my career. It's very important for it to be like the album that I want to put out is what I'm really seeing as my debut album because it's gonna be something that's really quality, and I wanted to turn heads to be like this guy's young and he's putting out an album this good. Like what is he gonna do next? You know what I
Right.
mean?
So you've put out a few EPs lately, right?
Um,
Well, songs
yeah.
they have, but they show up as EPs.
Yeah, that's called the waterfall method. So basically, when you're an artist and you're dropping singles and you want people to, like, get to know your music, you drop the single, and then after that single, you put songs that you've already put out, and it's called the waterfall method. So if somebody like sees like you're promoting your single, then they go find the single. uh, if they save it to their library, they're gonna see those other songs too, like Spirit-filled, God Say, like Locked. I dropped Locked In. There was God Say, Spirit-filled, All I Need. So if someone's, you know, playing Locked In, they're gonna see those songs,
Right.
and they might pop up in their queue.
Yeah.
So it's just promotion tactics.
So how many hours do you think you've spent creating the sound that you have now, the lyrics and things like that? When you talk about put the work in, how much work do you think you've been putting into this?
I mean, it's definitely a lot. I mean, with beat selection, I'm very specific because when I hear a beat, I have to really feel it. You know what
Right.
I mean? Uh, it's I just can't like I don't know if I'm not like in love with the beat, I'm not gonna use it, and I could go weeks without making a song that I actually enjoy. I mean, you know that I only show like you like a really good song every few weeks. Sometimes I mess around and make a song, but I'm very specific on what I drop and quality control. And, you know, yeah.
So like we're talking hours upon hours, right?
Yeah. I mean, making a song, like, I don't drop most of my songs for months. Like, I have a song that's going to come out in March and April that I recorded in March of last year. And, yeah,
So your newest stuff, you got Locked In that came out
locked in.
in December, January.
In December, and I made that song like early. I started working on it early 2024.
Right.
Yeah,
And so that was hours upon hours of work,
yeah. Like
right?
I
And I feel
mean,
like that was your most probably worked on besides the newest one that's coming out.
yeah. I mean, yeah. You could say that because like I mean, the original version was completely
Way
different.
different.
This
Right.
like there is completely different verses. I mean, the Put It On Slow Mo that wasn't in it.
Right.
All in locked in like the best part of the song where it's like it gets super
Yeah.
hype. You remember that second verse was bad. My dad told me I like the chorus. I like some of the other parts, but you got to work in that second verse, bro, because that second verse is bad. Then
So
like
you said I'm whatever, but
yeah,
I literally will tell you if I like it or don't.
yeah,
And so to me, like that's the song I think I worked on you the most with,
yeah,
which was the fun for me, and like dropping in all the little beat cues, the pitcher, the like all the little like that was to me like your most polished until the most recent one. So, which we can't talk about because it's not out yet. So, but well, I mean, we can hint at it because when is it coming to March?
Yeah.
Yeah, this will probably air close to then. So,
Yeah, you know what song I'm talking about, right?
yeah,
And say it.
Killer.
Yeah, Killer.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And that song, definitely the biggest budget we spent on a song
Yes.
to get the feature. Which
So you got a feature with who on that one?
A3.
And he's on a few other big names.
Yeah,
So you can drop some names here.
yeah, I mean he's in the Heaven on Earth collective. That's headed by What Up RG.
Right.
Has a Klesso 350. It's like a lot of big names in that group. Not Clyde and Killer. I really like the song. It's very different. I like it. I think it's very quality. And I wanted A3 like on it as soon as I ever like heard him for the first time.
Right.
When I heard like the Heaven on Earth stuff, and then I like listened to his music, I was like, he would go crazy on Killer, and I could definitely leverage some, new streams and take some of his fan base maybe, and gain new fans.
Gain new fans, not take some.
Yeah, I definitely worded that the wrong way. But yeah, I think his sound matched the way that.
Yeah, no,
Killer.
I mean, it's coming out soon, so I'm talking about it. It might be out even as we're talking about it. So if you want to check that out, it's called Killer with A3. The beat goes hard on that one.
That beat is insane. Shout out the producer Morgan on YouTube. He's always dropping bangers. Is he gonna see this? Probably not at all.
But he might though. I mean, I feel like he might actually see this. But yeah, I mean, you have been getting noticed out there. You put yourself out there on a competition recently.
Yeah, by Thieves on YouTube, which is run by Nate Rose and David Pierre. Honestly, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. But he's a video director, photographer.
Right.
He does that type of stuff. And I just submitted my song, and they seem to really like it.
Yeah. So what we'll do right now is we'll let the people see what they said about your song, right? And so when I say no cuts, I was just kidding. We can actually cut things.
All right.
But so right here, we're gonna cut to Nate Rose.
Nate Rose
and those guys at Thieves podcast, and they're gonna critique Degree's new song. So check this out right here.
Crashing by Degree. Cover art is dope.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Little things like that are nice.
I don't get mad over nobody talking. I walk in a function, I'm bringing a rockin', I'm weighing my options while I ever make it, while I get it poppin'. On pop, piss, false scripture, and now I just poppin' a molly and saving a walk. The only walk I be doing is walking the spirit. I'm fighting over anything more than a Glock. Okay, let's put it on.
Ooh, that's hard.
What to do to the devil just not. Using the flow, been praying a lot. Wondering I'ma get rid of these thoughts. Gotta get rid of them, demons been killing them, praising them, singing them. Let's get a rock. Made in the image of look, I sit in them, sitting there thinking, horse, but God, blood red on me, fashion. If the first gonna be less than, I'll be in the back end. Let call me to action. Too fast, high speed, crashing. Switch could slow down time. It feel like I move too fast. I stay 10 toes down, keep it across my back. I feel like I'm losing it now. I feel like I put up a mask. The way that I'm cruising out town, I think that I'm about to crash. I slow down, I'll pick up the pace. If I don't slow down, I crash the gates.
Okay. Crashing by Degree.
That's hard, bro.
Okay, dude, I feel like this guy, he sounds very young to me. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And is he in the chat right now?
Yep.
Is he?
Hey, that's me, right? Yeah.
He said, hey, that's me. Degree.
Oh, did he?
Degree,
Let's go.
how old are you, bro?
I'm thinking like 16. That was the first thing I was going to say, too.
Yeah, he's in here. Okay, tight.
I need to see, as soon as he comments, I need to see how old he is real quick before I...
It said,
Give-
bro,
give my
sound
Don't
like
lie.
someone said, bro, sound like he on an Apple headphone
He's
mic.
15. Okay, bro. Hey, listen, bro. You got a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of potential. I see the vision. It sounds very like I was definitely getting like Not Clyde vibes. I think that with time, you keep going with time. The little things that I was going to critique in terms of the vocal performance and stuff, I think that's going to get ironed out as you get better. I mean, being 15 years old, there's no way you've had time to get your 10,000 hours in. So for being 15, I think this is very, very good work. And yeah.
I'm curious if you want to comment. When did you start making music? I want to know how long it's taken him to get to the level that he's at. The only thing I'll say, I don't have any critiques. Everything he said was right. All those little kinks will get ironed out. You have the most important thing, which is just like you have attitude when you're rapping, and it conveys emotion. So you got that. Everything else will come.
Let me also throw this out too. This is not related to the song necessarily, but the branding and the approach to the brand is great. So his name's Degree, but it's spelled degree with then a degree symbol at the end, like the little upper O. The song's called Crashin', all caps with an exclamation mark, right? So that's automatically catching. And the single cover is something that I brought up, and it looks like it was made with AI. Maybe him sitting in the middle of like a parking spot, but then he kind of like filled in the rest of it. But I mean, like for the branding to be that level at 16 years old is pretty nuts, man.
Straight up. Started at 11 too.
Yeah, so
Good,
he's put in
dude.
some time, but
Good. Keep going, bro. I think you really got a lot of potential, man. I definitely think. I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? All willy nilly like that. I wouldn't say it all willy nilly. David, you liked it?
Oh yeah, that was hard, bro. That was hard.
Let's go.
All right, well, welcome back to us. There you go. You see, these guys are part of. I mean, they're way bigger than you, and obviously this channel too. But they critiqued you, and they loved it.
Yeah. It was really great seeing that, Crashing, I love that song. I worked pretty hard on it. The cover, they love the cover. As I was talking about, my small team, Alex, Vinny, and Dalton basically did that whole cover. My visuals and stuff, I'm really not the best at that, but, they are good at it, and I'm very thankful for how generous they are with their time since I don't pay them at all. Which if I had money, I would, but
We get there eventually, right?
Yeah.
So that's what grinding is all about, and putting in the work, and I think like what he said, like you haven't put in your 10,000 hours, vocally yet, and that you'll kind of grow into that, right?
Yeah.
And they were like 16, like that's crazy, right? And for me, it's like I've seen you putting in the work since you were 12, 9. That doesn't count. But like, and seeing you do that I think is inspiring to others. Like there are 16-year-olds that are just playing video games, and not that you don't play video games, but
I definitely play video games.
right. Not that you don't do that, but you're like you look at it as a job. Like it's like work for you.
Yeah.
You spend at least 2 hours to 3 hours a day working on it. I know that for a fact. I see you doing all of that. I can actually hear you doing all of that in our house. So, and
The walls are thin, guys.
there's no insulation in that one. But it's, and for me, I've always pushed you towards what you love. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have support and you have all that. But the reason is because of the work ethic that, like, if you weren't doing like what you're doing and how hard you are, I'd be like, go get a job, bro. You know what I mean? But because you're working hard at it and like you're trying and you're like, you know what I mean? It's like, nah, man, do what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And I believe that God's going to take you to another level. Because you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for Him.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference with when you were younger to where you are today. Is like your focus is not just on you, and in your music, it's really the story is more about pushing Christ and who He is in your life in every single one of your songs.
Yeah.
So kind of talk through that a little bit for the people and how that kind of happened.
I grew up Christian. My parents were always pastors. I was a pastor kid. So I don't know how to phrase this, honestly. I mean, as I said earlier, when I was younger, the music just wasn't about God or anything. But, as I grew older, I really, built my own relationship with Christ. And, my music is just I'm just honest in my music, and
Right.
I just speak what I live, like what I live, and what I do in my life. So it's like if I'm putting that work in, with Christ, and building that relationship, it's gonna like pour out into the music and all that and anything I do.
Yeah, and I like that's what, and I've seen, and so like you kind of talk about some artists that you listen to now, and I've seen your tastes change over the years as well. You go from Andy Mineo, right, the Cray Andy Mineo, to now it's like What Up RG. It's it's all of these different artists. John
Yeah.
Keith. I don't think we've mentioned him yet. So some of these guys that I never even heard of until you guys showed me them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and they're great. And I like what some of these guys are doing. And you're basing some of your sound and some of your stuff off of what these guys are doing. And so you've grown into, I think you've grown into your own, where your sound is unique, but also comparable to some of these big names at the moment. And that's where you say that I'm kind of biased, right?
Yes, because sometimes I would play one of my songs to like another CHH artist who's much bigger than me, and my dad's like, oh yeah, you're way better than this, and I'm just like, no, I'm not, but
But some people are where they are, right? Because of who they know, not because of what they've done, right? And some people get to where they are because they work and they grind. I think some of the artists that are out there right now, I think you're in their thing. It's just you don't know the people that they know to get you in the room. And that's what it takes in an industry like a CHH and whatever.
And it's very hard when you're living in West Virginia.
Yeah, you live in the weirdest state to come out of Christian rappers. So I don't know of any. So you'll be the first one.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm prophesying.
Oh,
See
yeah.
that was that prophetic. And this whole episode is not just to encourage him, but to encourage you. Like this kid, 16 years old. Yeah, he's my kid, but that's not the point. The point is he's young. He's passionate about the Lord, and he's passionate about what he's doing. And I think you combine two things like that, and that God always honors and blesses that. And you've been working hard and doing things, and I think that's what will happen when you work hard and do things, that God will honor it and bless it and breathe on it, and something big will happen. And so with that, we could you want us to show one of your videos real quick?
I mean, sure.
We can. We're going to show you Spirit Filled. We'll throw that video in here. And when we come back, we'll kind of talk through that whole video and that process, and then talk about his newest stuff coming out.
I can't save you, only God can. They will been tipped, I said, nah, man, I don't want dirty money, I want raw bands. Got my pilot, and he wash hands. I'm a women's show, I'm a rock band. I don't see the real, but this ain't mock bands. Everything I do is in God's hands, it's God's plan. I don't need a Drake, cause I got hands. Flows like Jig, but I don't need a stick. God did, but this ain't Cali's kid. Spirit filled, yeah, that's just how we live. Spirit filled, yeah, you know that we not talking millions or even billions. This is beyond addition, this is how I'm living. You've been wondering why you got affliction, but to keep it simple, it's cause you've been sinning. Only God can fix it, but it's my mission to spread the truth, keep the spirit living, keep his name lifted, keep him in my vision till he makes the visit. Back to earth, summer, y'all need to get back to work, cause y'all been slack, get back to church. You need to be safe for you in the hearse. I don't need a Uzi, I don't need a vert. I got a little light that I gotta shine to the world. He was dead, but he rose in the third, you heard? Flows like Jig, but I don't need a stick. God did, but this ain't Cali's kid. Spirit filled, yeah, that's just how we live. Spirit ice. I'm rich in the spirit, he's leading my life. We spread the word when we stay outside. Go to the world, but I'm staying outside. There's words, there's homes that I pay, gets quiet. Homage to Andy, just like the tribe. If it's no big deal, then I let it slide. I'm holding a Bible, I'm holding a fire. God is the truth and the devil's a liar. Spirits is idle, man, y'all looking tired. Everything new, man, I'm living higher. Come on, let's get up. Reading the word, and I'm getting my bread up. Come on, let's get up. I got that sword of the spirit, so why would I let up?
So that was a spirit-filled video by Degree. That was our low budget, no budget video.
Yeah.
Pretty epic. I mean, we had a drone shot in there.
Yeah, it was.
That was fun.
Yeah. I really like that video. It's almost that I think it like needs like 120 more views and it's gonna be like at like 1,000
Come on.
YouTube. And also it's my most streamed song, over 1,000 streams on Spotify. A decent amount of streams on Apple Music. Yeah, I'm very grateful for that music video, and you know, low budget, didn't pay anybody. I was
We got to shout out Chad,
Yeah,
helped us
Chad.
out with that one.
yeah
Vinny helped us out with that one. Alex, I mean, there was a crew. Was Alex at that one?
Alex
I don't
wasn't
remember.
there, no.
No, he was at the other
Ethan was
thing.
there.
Yeah, Ethan. Yeah.
Ethan. Yeah.
Yep. But so we start like that was when we were like, all right, we're gonna get locked in, no pun intended,
Yeah.
to the music thing, and really start pushing your stuff.
Yeah.
I
That
shout out to that Catholic church that helped
yeah.
us. Yes.
that youth pastor there, very nice guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that music video definitely helped me a lot. I used it for one of my reels, and that video got like over 41K views.
Wow.
Didn't hit the right algorithm though. Mostly haters in the comments. I think if one a different like one of my newer songs hit 41K views,
It'd be a little different.
it would be a little different, yeah. But Spiritfield, I think that was really like the start of like my quality music.
You could see the potential right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I mean like the gang vocals in the chorus, you know, the way I'm rapping on that song, like I'm just going in, I'm going hard, you know.
Right.
I think that was really the start of like yeah.
Right. So we did that one. Then we came out Locked In. Crashing came out recently. That's the one that those guys critiqued.
Yeah.
And you came in third place on almost everybody's.
Yeah.
But then the guy literally contacted you after.
yeah.
Right? Talk about that. We should have talked about that during that set.
Oh yeah. So he DM'd me. He was like, "Yo, where you from, bro?" And he was like, yeah, I really like your content. You know, I like that. You know what you're doing. You know, talking about how you made the cover, things like that." And he was like, "Remind me of a younger me."
Right.
And he wants to work with me if I'm ever in Nashville, and I'm just very grateful for that opportunity. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, and that's kind of how you get in the game.
yeah.
Right.
It's
And
just-
so, and that could
it's-
be a potential that we'll see where that goes. And
Yeah, you know, nowadays the internet is everything.
right.
You know, I just send a little email, watch the live stream, and then you know what happened.
Yep.
And I'm getting these opportunities now, and it's all because, you know, computers and phones.
Yep. So it's really cool to see other people seeing your potential.
Yeah.
And not just this old guy, because you know, as a dad, you know, I push you to do your best and whatever, but to hear other people give you a critique like, hey, that's really good, you know, solid for your age, you know, all that kind of stuff, and they gave you some very good critiques, I think,
Yeah.
too, and so it's really cool, and from my perspective, it's great to hear other people tell you how good you are, because I think that you got it. So
Yeah.
and that's just not because I'm your dad, but also because I love all the music. So, yeah, I mean, I've been listening to hip hop before a long time, and yeah, you're getting there, and it's great. So, but this episode really, again, we wanted to share his story with you so that you can understand, like, this is the grind. This is what it takes. This is how you got to put in the work. And like Nate said, he's like, you got to put in 10,000 hours before you become a master of something, right? That's master level stuff, and you're getting there, right? And so, and with anything, it's hours that you put in. It's the practice. It's the potential that you have and the passion that you have to do that. But also, when it's something that God has given you, the giftings and the abilities to go out and do that, when it makes it a little easier. Do you feel like you're working, or when you're doing what you're doing, or is it like, man, I just love this?
I mean, I really do love making music. When I record something and I listen to it back and it sounds good, that's just one of the best feelings, because I mean, there's a lot of times I record and it's like, yeah, I don't like this,
Right.
you know. Then I record it again and I'm like, I'm not getting these vocal takes right, and then sometimes I do just give up. But when there's something there, there's definitely something there. Then, you know, I just work on that, and then when I come out with the finished product, I don't think there's like a better feeling than that.
Right.
And I'm like, I made this. It sounds great, and you know, I just hope people like it as much as I do. And there's a lot of songs that I make that, you know, sometimes the internet doesn't like. You know, No Genius, Spirit Filled. Those are two songs I liked a lot, but I got like the most hate for them out of any of my songs. Actually, those were like the only two songs I ever
that
got
anybody
hate on.
got hate on. But
Yeah.
that's okay. People are gonna hate, right? And what are they, like, any comment's a good comment? You know, that's what
Oh
they
yeah,
say. It just
yeah. Because you know, comment, it'll put you in the algorithm more.
right. So it
So.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And people, when I see stuff like that, it spurs me on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I take it to heart or anything, because we've gotten some serious negative stuff on here too.
Yeah, I had like some
It's like,
orthodox dude in my comments talking about how it's like, no, my music isn't godly. I'm like, bro, you don't know me, bro. You don't know me as a person.
right.
Like,
You're talking about God, but it's not godly music.
yeah,
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, haters are gonna hate, right?
yeah,
They hate you because they ain't you.
yeah,
But and that's gonna happen in anything that you do. But you kind of just brush it off. You know, Jesus said, brush it off and go to the next city. You know, and that's gonna happen with anything. But also, the Bible talks about, you know, don't let them look down on you because you're young.
yeah.
And that's really kind of what this episode was about. Like, no matter your age, no matter where you're at, you don't let anybody look down on you. And because of that, and I think you've done a great job with that. It doesn't matter your age. You're like, man, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna work and work and work until something comes about. Yeah. And we've seen that over the past 2 years, how that is playing out. And so keep it up, and keep going strong. And for you, keep it up too, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're passionate about art. Maybe you're passionate about public speaking. Maybe whatever it is that God has put a passion inside of you, you know, use it for His glory, not yours, and let Him breathe on it. And don't let anybody look down on you for what you're doing for the Lord, because He will bless it and He will honor it. And so why don't you pray for, we're going to close the episode. Pray us out. Just ask for God to bless the people, and then I'll close the whole entire episode. So thanks for joining me. Degree, Little Ant, AC.
Man of many names.
Can I call you what Mom calls you?
Oh no.
Nah, we won't do that.
No.
We won't do that here. I'll put it, if you wanted to know what his mom calls him, put him in the comment section. I'll let you know in the comment section. But so why don't you pray us out, and we'll close the episode.
All right, dear Lord, I shall. Are we sure we can't cut?
We can't cut. Just go ahead, pray.
All right, dear Lord, I just ask that you bless whoever's watching this. I ask that you give them courage to pursue whatever passion that they have. If they're young or if they're older and they think to themselves, man, maybe it's just too late. Maybe I'm just too old to do this. I just ask that they have courage to pursue their passion, and that they're putting you first in whatever they're doing. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen and amen. Hey, be encouraged today that no matter what it is that you are passionate about, that if God is for you, who can be against you? And that no matter what it is, that if God has breathed on it, he will bless it and honor it. And so I just pray blessings over you today. May the Lord bless you. May he keep you. May his face shine upon you. May he give you peace. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Stay locked in. Make sure you're not crashing. And go check out Degree on all platforms. We'll see you on the next episode.